Kia ora. So yeah, the next and sort of I guess the final step really was the actual figuring out how to secure the top part of the bag, so the opening and closing flap to the actual base, the bottom of the bag. Yeah, so me and Dad, we looked at some other bags, different ways that it's done. I think quite commonly you have these kind of magnety type things where you attach one part of the magnet and it clips into this other part, like there's a hole in a little pointy thing, which can be quite effective. You can use big buckles, small buckles, there are different ways to do it. But I decided, I found a smaller buckle. It's a funny one because I think when making it, you want to think about like it being practical, and then also about, these are the things that I was thinking about, like, is this practical? Is it going to look good? Can I do this? Essentially, were kind of, some of the things that I was considering when making decisions. So I think, the little buckle was going to look good. But in terms of practicalness, like you don't really want a bag that's hard to get into, which I think that's why those magnet type ones are really good. I didn't really have that, and I don't think I needed it to actually be quite strong because the leather, it naturally just didn't want to fold like the way I was trying to make it. So that's why I kind of went with the buckle, because it could secure itself and I didn't have to worry about it coming up and down. It was definitely late at this point in the process. It must have been like 12 at night. But yeah, I really, really wanted to finish it. But, naturally, as we know, when you start pushing yourself in these time phrases and it is late and I've already done a lot of mahi, you start making mistakes. So it was quite hard to punch the holes because the bag was already formulated. I couldn't lay it flat and then punch the kind of hole that I needed to, and the tool I was using wasn't sharp, and it was definitely one of the more frustrating points in the bag, which was, kind of humorous, really. So I punched a hole and it didn't really work, and I had to get inside the bag, so I couldn't use the other tool I was using because it wasn't long enough to reach over the thing. And I could have taken the bag apart really, but I just had to sort of put lots of blocks inside the bag, so then I had a hard surface that then I could like use the tool and then hammer it down to punch the hole through. One hole kind of was weirdly became quite, like, the tool I was using went straight through, which was quite surprising. It's never happened, and it made too big of a hole, but there was nothing really I could do about that. And then because there wasn't a much space between this bottom part of the bag and then where the flap landed, so I only had a little bit of space to attach the strap and have a buckle. So I tried to bring it down as much as possible, but in doing that, it was really hard to get pressure underneath the curved part of the bag. So it actually took me about 3 different straps that I did attached and then didn't like it because I'd fucked it up or ruined it. Took it off, did it again, and I just thought, no, like, this is the front of the bag. I can't settle for it not being what I want it to look like. So I eventually got it, which was great, and then I was able to attach a piece underneath the top piece that was going to hook into the buckle instead of putting it on top, which would have not been so great because then it would have taken up space over the design, which the bottom one kind of was, there was yes or yes that had to happen, but the top one I could kind of avoid by putting it on the inside, so that was good. So I just had to cut a little strip, dye it, put 2 rivets in it and attach it, and then just put a little hole in it to thread through the buckle, and then I was happy as. That was really it. That was the end. So it worked really well. And yeah, and it fell, and I was able to figure out exactly where it needed to sit in order to match the pattern up, and then bring it down and attach it. So yeah, it actually worked out in my favor.